Week 3 sits and starts, keeping the faith alive in Indy and navigating the injury-laden wasteland of the NFL. Grab your favorite backup QB and let's go! Week 3 of Keeper starts right now. Hey everyone, I'm Susanna Collins. Welcome to Week 3 of Keepers. Man, things are starting to get real interesting in the National Football League, y'all. Here are just a few of my Week 2 takeaways. Old guys like Larry Fitzgerald and Adrian Peterson can still totally bring it. God is probably not a Cowboys fan, and Jimmy Clausen is the only person in the entire universe that could ever make me miss Jay Cutler. Bravo, Jimmy! With that, here are my Week 3 sits and starts. Start Jeremy Maclin. Alex Smith has now hit 20 straight regular season games without a touchdown pass to a wide receiver. His last 27 TD tosses have gone to backs and tight ends, which is kind of crazy, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Alex Smith can actually throw deep with that baby arm. The streak comes to an end on Monday night in Lambeau, and Maclin will be the beneficiary. I believe in you, baby arm. Sit Joe Flacco. For whatever reason, Flacco always seems to struggle against Cincy, with a career passer rating under 70 against him and 4 TDs versus 8 picks in their last 4 matchups. And that was with an NFL caliber receiving core. Now he's got a 36-year-old who's a couple months from retirement and a whole bunch of spare parts. Good times. Start Jonathan Stewart. Welcoming the Saints to town is just what the doctor ordered to get Stewart in rhythm this week. With Donnell Ellerbe nursing a toe injury, the Saints are starting 2 rookies at linebacker. Breeze's status is up in the air, and they're pretty much just a hot mess all around, which should also mean some second-half clock milking for Carolina. Sit Golden Tate. All right, something is clearly wrong with Matthew Stafford, and it's uncertain whether he'll play because the Vikes beat him the hell down, and so they may have to turn to the immortal Dan Orlovsky, then throw into the mix that he's facing probably the league's top corner duo that's held wideouts to just 102 yards in their first 2 games, and you got yourself a formula for a nice warm seat on the bench. Start the Panthers D. Even without their 2 best defensive players in Luke Kuechly and Star Lotulelei, they played a hell of a defensive game against the Texans. Now they might face a broken down Breeze who's not the same guy in the unfriendly confines of the outdoors, or Luke McCown, while wonderful as a Verizon pitchman, is a big old question mark as a backup QB. Sit Martellus Bennett. So Bennett's going to be traveling to the Pacific Northwest for a date with Seattle in their home opener. The crowd will be crazy and his brother's defense will be hungry to get that first notch in the win column. Oh, and guess what? The Cam Chancellor holdout is over. Jimmy Clausen is going to need all your prayers to make it out of this one in one piece, let alone be able to stand tall in the pocket and fire darts downfield to his tight end. Buy low on Dwayne Allen. So yeah, the Indy offense has looked anemic, but it's not time to declare them dead just yet. Andrew Luck and his glorious neckbeard are too good to keep down, but the atrocious pass protection his line provides will force him to get rid of the ball quickly, and a guy like Allen can be a nice safety valve. Sell high on Andre Johnson. Yeah, might be time to gauge the market for Allen's teammate though. See if you can swindle someone who might be thinking they're getting the Johnson of a couple of years ago. P.S. They're not. With Luck averaging just 3 yards per pass sent Johnson's way, that connection is going to fizzle faster than a match on Tinder. Buy low on Brandon Cooks. You won't regret it. He's one of the very fastest players in the NFL and the clear #1 wideout of an offense that's going to be slinging it, trying to come from behind all year long. If he can stay healthy, it seems impossible for him to not at least flirt with a 1,000-yard, 8+ TD season. Sell high on CJ Anderson. He was super hyped and thought to be a fantasy stud coming into the year, but it's pretty clear he dearly misses Ryan Clady, Orlando Franklin, and Manny Ramirez up front. Ship him before his value drops any further. Hire Andy Dalton and fire Teddy Bridgewater. As long as we take postseason performance out of the equation in fantasy, Dalton's the man. With the return to health of both Marvin Jones, plus arguably the NFL's best tight end who's never written erotica literature, and Tyler Eifert, the Red Rifle's playing by far the best ball of his career, and certainly better than Bridgewater, who's looked pretty meh. And after curiously abandoning Purple Jesus in week 1, it's now looking like Norv Turner's got Minnie's offense back to being the Adrian Peterson show. Hire Michael Crabtree and fire Charles Johnson. Against Baltimore, Crabtree sure looked fully recovered from a ruptured Achilles a couple years ago that seemed to hinder him in 2014. He is clicking nicely with Derek Carr, just dropped a $111 and a TD on Baltimore, and is 5th in the NFL in targets. Drop Johnson and his meager production in that aforementioned Peterson-centric offense to nab this guy. There you have it. Thanks for watching, Keepers, guys. And remember, bye weeks start next week, but don't worry, I'm here for you. We'll all get through this together. Set your lineups. We'll see you next week.